Hey, good morning. It's Sunday morning, Reno, Nevada. There's some other things that just sort of come to me, that when they come to me, and I think that they're important because they may have value. Whether they have value or not, that's going to be up to anybody who views the information that I present. And if it does, good. If it doesn't, well, that's okay too. That's what free will is, right? Okay, so one of the things that just came to me while I was thinking about Facebook, censorship, information censorship, and I thought to myself, they basically shut me down for 60 days, I guess it is. I couldn't make a video. I can't present any information. I can't post anything. I'm gone. What's the matter with it? What's the matter with Facebook? Why is that? Why do they do that? They want to limit the amount of information. They have these standards. Says, listen, you can't spread this kind of information. We're going to decide what it is that others experience. We don't want them to experience what it is that you're aware of because you run on more information than we do. Is that how it works? That's how it works. Think of yourself like a computer. You're a computer processor, right? An operating system. And you're a communicator. And you run off a ton of information. You're constantly spinning data because you're aware of the data that is held within the light because it's spinning in a powerful vortex. One galaxy through the next. So you're sharing all this information on how this works, and it doesn't want other people to know. Why would it ever want to do that? Why would they want to limit the amount of information that your operating system operates on? Because they run on a slower operating system, which is based on limited data. So is that what it is? Yes. They don't run a bigger vortex. Are you kidding me? That's why they clip my wings. Just like they edited out all the data that was in the third pole of the factory blueprint of Gaia's original human avatar, which was 3-pole. Go look at Project Censoring with Patty Broussard. She breaks it all down for everybody. All the data that was in those chromosomes, which were 48 and 3-pole, they cut down to 2-pole and 46. Why'd they do that? Why do you think? They don't want a bunch of 3-poles on this planet. So, that's data. All the data in the chromosomes. And so when you're running a high-speed unit, which means the core vibration of who you are is running high speed, that means that those waves that are going up and down are traveling at a very high rate of speed. So that high rate of speed, I just got another pop-up flashed up in front of my face. See, it's aware, it's intelligent, so it knows exactly what I'm doing. So it's constantly trying to distract me, okay? Which means to slow my speed down because now I'm aware of what it is rather than what I'm doing. And that's what it does. Try and slow your speed down. That's why it's junk technology. So anyway, I thought this is just an easy way to be able to realize, well, what am I experiencing? I'm experiencing a data processor which represents a phone. It's a cell phone. Well, you got 57 trillion cells. Those cells are communicators. When those communicators, which represents the cell, when you realize that those cells are in a fluid environment, for example, that is a high pH of, say, 8.4 in your morning urine, that's 800 million cycles. That's high speed. Those cells are going to be communicating high-speed energy. Wow. That's powerful stuff. Of course it is. Look how many hertz that is above a love frequency. And I have felt far higher stuff than that, particularly when you're around living magma. So if you're in a state of fear, that's 100 million cycles per second versus 800? My God. Now you begin to realize why they throw everything at us. Like when I was a child reading a newspaper. Bad news. Nothing but bad news. Nothing but bad news. Man, I don't live in that kind of universe. Are you kidding me? Get the density up, get the speed up, and just say, get out of here. That's not what I am, okay? So now we're into identity functions. And what is an identity function? That's an argument. Okay? You got to give them an argument they can't rebut. So one of the arguments that I always present when they try and present their argument with me is I ask them, what is your function? Okay? What is it you do with your energy? I love to go fast. What does that do? Well, because the faster that I'm going, the more data that I'm spinning in my vortex. The more data, which is information that I'm aware of, allows me to realize how big my universe is. Well, how big is it? It's infinite. How do you know that? Because it runs on infinite data. It's always changing. And that's what's happening now. The acceleration. Your heart's like a hadron collider. That's why they use a big-ass magnet out there. So the more powerful your magnet in your heart, using your neurotransmitters, the speed of that transmission of that signal allows you to communicate to all over the place. Which means, man, they're experiencing how much light, which is how much love you have through your heart, that you're not only accessing, but you're broadcasting it. So they can find you wherever you are. If you're needing, hey, come and get me. I'm trapped in a box. I run on a circle of light. That's why the sun is round, huh? Why do you think the sun is round? That's a geometric shape. What is the advantage of a circle? Right? Like taking a pencil point to a piece of paper and saying, hey, what do I want to create here? Okay, well, I'm going to start with a single point of a pencil, and I'm going to draw it out. And I'm going to draw it out. Man, it's spinning. Hey, is that how the speed picks up? Yeah, I get to go faster, just the way a galaxy is spinning like crazy. That's a lot of data and all that light and all that galaxy. Well, imagine you're aware of all the data that represents all the light that is in the Milky Way galaxy. Scale it up to every galaxy. Scale it up to Laniakea. Man, are you spinning that much data? That's what infinite data is. That's what infinite light, which is infinite love, which is infinite creative imagination. And these are basic elementary principles. So, this is like what I call after-school tutoring. Guy dismissed the class. It's already out. So it's just like when I see all these YouTube channels that are going up. Hey, this is what the truth is. Hey, this is what the truth is. This is what I know. This is what I know. This is what I know. Everybody wants to know what the fucking truth is. Well, I was fortunate enough to know what the truth was right out of my mother's womb. The truth is what love is. Love tells the truth. Okay? But the truth is not going to mean the same thing to every single being that's here. As Patty said to me one time, actually to all of us on Project Ascension, 2 out of every 3 people that you meet on this planet, okay, are not Homo sentient sapiens. They're not native. They're not running Gaia's equipment. That's what this is. The advantage of being analog is self-explanatory. Actually, it's self-evident. It allows you, because of your antennas, to realize and translate the environment you're in. Hey, so you know who you are based on the energy that you run, which is your identity, and then you can begin to pick up all the different signals of communication between past, present, and future. So I wrote a few things that I'm going to cover in the last or the next one that I'm going to do, but some of these things were coming to me, and I thought, for the benefit of everybody in the cosmos, maybe I would share this, particularly because the events on the timeline, the events are changing at an accelerated rate of speed. And what happens when that happens is that what it was that you were operating on before, which was the information that represented the past, is speeding up, which means you're going to be more aware of different things, different data, new data, which means new events, different events, events that were better than the past, which means when the light is accelerating and the density is rising and your consciousness is expanding because the light is expanding, you're aware of far more things. This means that there's more light in here. That means things get better. Because I already know this. I actually knew this when I was a child. We already won this. I've already experienced what it's like to experience the other side of this, which is how future proves past. It's always now time, which is what love is, which is what light is. So that's based on the speed of what it is you're experiencing at any given moment. You're experiencing the energy of the communication, or you're experiencing the energy that you are. So we're signal communicators, communication platforms, receiving signals, sending signals. So we're experiencing all the signals. So anyway, I'll leave that with everybody to think about, if you choose to think about it, and see how that fits into the equation that you run, the light that you run, the speed at which you experience who you are in the entire cosmos. That's what it represents. What is the energy that you're using to communicate what it is that you are with everybody else? Have a great day. I love you all.